What up, what up, what up?
Hello.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday.
I was too loud in the first take.
Yeah, okay. What's going on? So before we get into this, I'm going to introduce ourselves. Thank you for everyone listening. If you're a new listener, continue listener, thank you for the support. I am Shadell, one half of Paging the Simpsons. I am joined by my lovely fiance.
Hi, it's Lauren.
And so before we did like a quick like intro like we just did now, and I'm like, do my usual what up, and then she's like, what up.
I did not.
I'm like, yo, what the heck is? I'm like, what? I'm like, right at the gate, you want someone to be like, let me turn the volume off.
I was like,
I'm like, let me go to another podcast because
well,
these
you
people
always
are crazy.
talking about how I don't have the energy and I'm not excited and blah blah blah. So there you go.
But you want them to go to deaf?
That's what you do by screaming in the microphone. What up?
Yo, I'm not expecting someone to go like, ah.
Okay, I did not sound like a dying cat.
Oh god. All right. So what's going on, everyone? Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. We on it. Second day of the week. Let's get it. So I want to talk about Facebook, and they had like a whole like developer conference. We saw like a quick like 8-minute like run through. I'm not sure if you were paying attention to it. I think you were.
Yes, I was, sir. Excuse you.
And I want to talk about Facebook made a big push for privacy during this developer conference. Like, one of the things I feel like they kept saying, I feel like they didn't say it once. It was always said. And one of the things they kept saying was the future is private. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wasn't the future always private? I didn't want my information shared with everyone unless I wanted it to.
Supposed to be presently private?
Like,
why just in the future?
And they made an emphasis with everything. They're like, oh, the new messenger we're building has encrypted data, so it stays only with you, or this and that. And I'm just like, cool. So you're telling me it wasn't before?
Nope.
At this point, I don't even think people really care for Facebook. Like, out of the top 3, right? I guess you'd say 3. I think Facebook's like the lowest on the totem pole. Like,
what are the top 2 to you?
Twitter and Instagram.
I don't think Twitter's above that. I think Instagram is.
I'm not talking about having as many people.
No, but I think Facebook is still like Instagram and Facebook are like the top 2.
I don't know. So they kept making a big push for privacy, and it's like, I don't know what you guys are going to do. Like, they're doing a whole website redesign that's going to come out later this year. App redesign has pushed out to, like, phones. At least we got it on our phones.
Yeah,
it's like, they're making little changes, and it's cool and stuff, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, it was never one, like, I see people still put, like, where they work at, like, on their Facebook. And when I got my job that I currently have, at the time, I was like, should I do this? But then I also thought, I'm like, why? Like, why does it matter? Like, my employee's not going to find me. It's not LinkedIn where, like, this has, like, an online resume.
They find you.
No, like, meaning, like, I'm not going to get a job from that. They're not going to go and look at my resume on Facebook and be like, yo, he worked here, he worked there, he went here. Like, they put it on there. Like, and I don't know if Facebook's branching out to having, like, the whole, like, job stuff there. But I'm not going on Facebook for a job. Like, they're trying to make it like a one-stop shop, like you would treat like Amazon. Like, you go on there for online dating now. What else do they announce?
I feel like Facebook's smart though, in that context, because they know they're kind of getting old. They're kind of getting dry. So it's like they came up with a way that now Facebook is a complete all-in-one. It's everything with this update. All these websites put into one. It's kind of crazy.
It's smart, but I don't know. I'm kind of old on Facebook.
The dating thing was fascinating though.
Well, they
how
talked
it's like
about,
you could if you like someone who's on your friend list, but then they won't know unless they say that they like you too. But I thought that was interesting because it's like, maybe, Facebook can make relationships happen when people thought, oh no, we're just friends, and like, but I want to be more, and like, I don't know. I think that's kind of an interesting way to go about it. Except I also feel like that could go wrong too, because I think people could just like say that I authentically said I liked you, but you were going through and like liking everyone on your friends list just to see who said like they liked you, but you didn't really like me. Like I feel like
a kid thing. If that,
yeah, but I feel like people would still do that.
I think that's for kids. I don't know so I'm not doing that. I mean, you hope I'm not doing that, but like I don't know. All this stuff is pointless. Like, I'm waiting for them to roll out, be like Facebook News, like where you can get all your news on Facebook.
I mean, we kind of already do.
But you're getting it from like the actual channels. I'm talking about like articles from like Apple News, but on Facebook.
We sort of already do because of the news pages.
But no, I'm talking about one place fits all, like Apple News, articles, not video.
Okay, why are you whispering?
So they had that. And I don't know. I'm skeptical, and I'm starting to feel like, because I'm thinking about like all my, like my little brother and like my cousins that are younger, that are like in high school or just came out of high school, and I don't really think they're using Facebook like how we're using it. Like they're more on like Twitter and Instagram. Snapchat's really popping like that still.
I don't know. I feel like Twitter. Well, I feel like Instagram and Snapchat are more like their thing.
Man. And my next thing is, what do you call it? It's Instagram. So Instagram also, they had like Instagram's CEO or whoever come up, and he was like showing something where, two things from that. They're having like some away mode where it's like, let's say like some life event happens, like you break up with your boyfriend, or like you're going through like a bad breakup, or something, you're like, you're not feeling like
someone dies,
or you're depressed because of whatever reason. I guess away mode, like I don't even know what it does, like stop the messages. The guy really didn't.
I think it basically makes it so. Well, what I got from it, I guess it isn't clear. I think it makes it so that you can kind of in a way deactivate your Facebook, but not.
True. Yeah, because these are things that they're like testing. They're not saying it's out now, but it's like,
they said like some things may or may not actually make it.
I don't think they have an idea on what they're doing. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's more so that you don't have. I don't know. It's weird. That one was weird to me though, because at the same time, if you're gonna do that, just don't go on the website.
Okay, but see, here's the next thing to that. We're gonna have an issue. Is they're getting rid of, or they're testing out getting rid of the like count. They're doing it in Canada. And if it works out, I guess they'll probably bring it to US and every other place. So how's that going to be? So now what you're going to see is, you're going to see like my name, like it's going to show like my name as one of the people that liked it. And then,
but you don't see how many.
Yeah. It doesn't show you like a count.
Is this just Instagram, or is it both Facebook?
I mean, it's just Instagram. Facebook doesn't matter. It's not like social. Like I feel like Instagram is like on a massive scale. Like you can touch people if you want to on Facebook, but you have to like intentionally like go out and talk to people on Facebook. I feel like
the likes on both could be detrimental though, because even on Facebook it's like, like when I posted our engagement pictures, it's like, okay, wow, those got a lot of likes. Or when we moved into this place,
those are
it's
those are friends or family. They're not like everyone that's not part of this.
But at the same time, then you post other stuff that doesn't get as many likes. Like for example, dude, some like I'll post like our major stuff, like the engagement or whatever, gets 1 billion likes, whatever. Then I post like a special for my business, or I post something that's like important to my business, and it gets like 3 likes. And I'm like, wow, guys, thanks for being supportive. That's so amazing.
Man, we'll support your relationship, but we're not supporting that business.
Seriously, like they like everything that has to do with like you and me, or Missy, or like personal things like that, cutesy, like nice things. But as soon as I share something, or I'm like, I'd really appreciate if you share this business post or whatever, no one, like crickets. And I'm like, wow. And here's the funny thing is, I know you're seeing it because all y'all saw and liked and engaged on my other post, like the pictures, which means that now I'm going to come back into your feed. Yeah. So like, rude.
I don't know. And the reason, I guess one of the reasons they're looking to get rid of the follower, or not the follower count, the like count, is because it acts like bullying, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a kid thing, like a high schooler thing, maybe where they see like a certain.
It's kind of influencer based too, because it's not even just for kids. Because if you think about it, say like, okay, we're trying to grow the podcast, but then we look at other people who are like so much bigger, and it's like it's like a mental game type of thing, and then people can also use that against you and be like, well, oh, you don't have this many followers or this many likes, so you're not cool or whatever.
Well, that's another thing.
Like, I feel like that's any age.
But I also feel like with that thought, they're also trying to remove like advertisers from it, because that's why they reduced like they didn't make followers and who you're following like as big as a thing. Like with that update they did a few months ago where they changed the profile.
The podcast Instagram shows that.
Well, now it's everyone's. Like a lot of people's.
It's still not mine.
Okay, well, a lot of people's are slowly being changed over to that.
I think all the old ones, like, they're taking forever to do it. Because like my business, Missy's, like all of mine are still the same, where they're giant, but then like yours for the podcast. Yeah.
So they made it less, and it's like they try to take less emphasis of it, and I'm wondering if it's one thought of like, is it like to kind of stop people's money flow? Like as far as like taking like the like count, reducing how visible followers are. Because if that's the main thing, what people are like making their money off of.
But hold on. But also in the same breath, what's wrong with making money on social media?
I don't know.
Because it's another form of income. And the thing is, influencers and these people who do profit off social media, they also are profiting whatever business wants to advertise with them. So they are helping businesses.
It's a theory. I don't know for sure. I'm just throwing these out there because I'm like, why else? Because the other thing is, I mean, are they doing it for mental health reasons? Like,
I mean, I feel like that's the main objective, it sounds like. And
going to your next point, if someone has an issue with seeing likes and stuff, I was for this when I first saw this, and like they were doing they were playing with the away mode and like getting rid of the like count because maybe it makes some people feel insecure about it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, that's cool for them. But then after, like, I listened to the Joe Budden podcast earlier, and Maul was like, he gave me another perspective. And I'm like, yeah, if someone's bullying you about like, yo, I got more likes than you, I have more followers than you, and all this stuff, I'm like, just block the person.
Yes, but you have to realize that it's kind of endless because then the next person will come and do it too. Like,
block them. You're only in high school for 4 years or something like that. You'll be out. Once you're out,
but the damage is done.
It is what it is. You can't control what someone else says to you, but you can control how they're gonna say it. At least when it comes to online, block them on everything. You know they got a Facebook account, block them. You know they have a Snapchat, block them. Like, I don't know. I'm not for it. Like, if my kid comes to me, if we have a kid and they're
giving him the stink eye right now.
If we have a kid and Facebook 300
Lord
is
knows
out.
What's gonna be out by that time?
Or when they have like AR and you can like put your phone somewhere and like some random kid appears right in your living room.
I'm like literally scared to have kids in this day and age for so many reasons.
Man, all I know is that block button is there for a reason, and it's like I get it. I get it because so
are you talking in terms of people who are bullying in person and then also going online to do it, the same person?
Because we didn't have to deal with this. Because we came like really like after it, so like it wasn't that big of a deal. Well, oh god, okay, hold up, I didn't have to deal with this. I didn't have to deal with this one. Yeah,
he knows all about my story. Okay, the real quick rundown for people who don't know my story. God. I did YouTube in high school. I didn't show my face until the summer before sophomore year. And once I did, when we got back to school, apparently it had gone like all throughout my grade. And then it also like trickled into the higher grades. And so the last 3 years of my high school experience were awful, miserable, terrifying. Like I was terrified to like walk through the double doors into the hallways. Like in the dead of the morning when barely anyone was there, I was still terrified. And Yeah, so basically I would get bullied in person, like he's saying, and then it would follow me online because, well, online and phone, because people would text me death threats and text me pictures of like the class watching a video on like the teacher's laptop, which I still don't understand how that even happened. Probably walked out of the room or something. But and then online, people would go like onto other people's like YouTube profiles, and I would see them commenting, and they'd be like, "Oh, like where's Lauren Page's YouTube like account?" And they'd like find it, and then they'd comment on mine. Like I know they didn't even hide their names or their faces. Like I knew exactly who it was. And yeah, so yeah, like it would definitely follow me online. We didn't have as much social media, which I can definitely attest to the fact too. I don't even know how it'd be now. It would be 10 times worse, which my experience was awful. It was horrific. It took a while to get over. It was like, it definitely shaped me and made me a lot stronger and that kind of thing. But it was like a very long 3 years. It was isolating. It was just awful. I also didn't really have real friends at the time. So I didn't have anybody to really lean on. I didn't meet my best friend until senior year. So like the first the first 2 years, I was pretty much completely alone because I always had fake friends all throughout like my school experience. And then with her, that helped, but it was an awful time. I literally had nightmares that I would walk across the graduation stage and people would like be yelling stuff at me and booing me and like all this terrible stuff. Like I was scared to actually graduate. So yeah, it was horrific. So it did follow me both in person and online, which is why I'm so passionate about how awful it is. And it's just worse now. Because I think it was Facebook, it was YouTube. And I mean, I don't know if anyone was really doing it on Twitter.
Yeah,
but
Twitter wasn't really. I think it just
Twitter was a thing, but I don't think people were doing as much. Yeah. So
they were too busy talking. But
it was before Snapchat, before Instagram, before a lot of these. So.
See, it's tough because you can't control school. But at least for my sanity,
kids are awful.
I would just especially block girls. Those kids. Like I get it. I get what you're saying. Where it's like yeah, it's tough going to like that school and dealing with these people face to face. Yeah. But for me, like I didn't have many like issues in high school. I had like probably 2 people that bothered me, and those situations were handled. Maybe 3 if I really count it. Mine
was like constant.
But like mine weren't constant. Like there was an issue, and it's like no, we're handling it. It's not happening.
What's funny is, I always guess I had some sort of a bullying going on in my life, but I always just wanted to be a wallflower when I went to school. Mm-hmm. Because again, I didn't really have real friends. I just wanted to go to school, do what I was supposed to, and go home. I was a part of a couple clubs that helped and I was passionate about, and that was good. But I wasn't trying to stand out. And so when this happened, it just got so much worse. Like, sure, I was bullied a little in elementary school or middle school, whatever, but it never was a thing for me. So now this wallflower became the center of attention for ridiculous reasons. Yeah. Like the way they bullied me and made fun of me, you would have thought I was doing porn. Like you would have thought I was doing something so ridiculous and embarrassing and awful. Like, sure, I will be the first to admit I did not know what I was doing with makeup back then. I did not. Like, so it wasn't the best. But I was just doing something fun. It was a hobby. Like, I just was doing something that I enjoyed.
So to dig into that, it was more so an insecurity on those people that were pushing that bullying because they're probably like, I can't put myself out there like that, and this person is, so let me make fun of them. Like, and it's funny because I don't know how many people listen to this podcast that like know us like that as far as like friends wise, not really family, but I'm like, yo, like thinking of it, shoot, where am I going? Like you think about all those people that like I guess were quote unquote like the popular or like were like the bully people, and like, yo, you're not doing much with your life.
It's very interesting because I don't know really what a lot of them are up to nowadays. I don't care. I don't look. But I have seen like bits and pieces here and there. And like there's legitimately like some people that are on like their second or third kid with like different people. Like there's people that are just like, you can just tell they're kind of a mess, or like they're just I don't know. And even back then, I mean, really, if I were to look back, some of these girls that were making fun of me, like,
they had their own issues.
Wow, like they were smoking or they were doing whatever. They had the most phony, like, even though they had a circle of people they thought were their friends, if you look at that was even faker than what I had.
And that's what I have, like, when it comes to us having a kid, like, I'm breaking it down, just like I broke it down for the kid that tried choking me up in high school. I'm like, yo, you hurt? Like, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it? Like, I'm like, the reason someone's bothered or picking on you is because something's going on with them, and like they can't go through it emotionally. So it's like, I'm gonna hopefully instill this in my kid to be confident in themselves and to understand what this person is going through, and have empathy.
It's hard.
For that.
They have to go through stuff too,
of course,
to build on that and like get to certain places. So like, it's hard because you can't prevent everything your kid goes through either. And things suck, but I don't know. It just, it was a funny perspective. My mom said when I had what was it? I had to go, I think it was into my first day of my first job, and that's when I found the video of these girls that made fun of me. It was like a parody video. And I found that, and I was like destroyed, and I had to go into work and like try and make an impression, and that was just an awful thing for me. Again, builds character later on, but in the moment it's not that fun. So and we ended up like the vice principal got involved, and we had this stupid powwow in her office. Of course, they're completely BSing the whole time, but they deleted the video. But my mom actually said her insight. She's like, well, maybe you've actually made it, because it's kind of like SNL, where like people make fun of you and people are like joking and stuff, and you're like a big deal. And I'm like,
Isn't the phrase I may kill this, flattery is a form of, or is it imitation is? Imitation
is a form of flattery.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and
so I'm like, of course it didn't help at the time because
of course
I'm still in it, but it's an interesting concept.
But okay, so let me throw this at you here. If you it wouldn't stop like the in-person things, but if you, even with text messages, could we do that? Was that pre-iPhone?
You can block people
on text messages, before the iPhone came out.
I think you could block numbers. I think it was a little more difficult. I
feel like you had to call in. Yeah, you had to call. I remember that. It was
something, but you could block numbers.
Because I was gonna say, like, you can sit there and like block people. Like, I feel like this day and age, I feel like, how come this isn't like, how come it's not a thing? I can't have my kid just block these kids that are bullying them. Like, they can make as many profiles as they want. Sooner or later, it's going to get tiring. Yeah. They can text you all you want. Sooner or later, it's going to, like, you can just block it. Like,
see, but the thing is, you think it would get tiring, but, like, that went on for 3 years for me.
Then I'm going to... See, I'm different.
Like, you would think it would get tiring, but it kept happening.
See,
like, maybe for a couple months, it would, like, slow down, and then all of a sudden, like, people would just show up again.
See, like, seriously? I'm different, so I come from rap, and I grew up listening to rap all the time. I listened to 50, and 50 was all about, like, if you're coming for me, I'm going to come for you also. So that's why, in my head, if I'm having a kid, I'm going to tell a kid, you might as well go at them too if they're gonna come at you like that. We'll take the passive way and see if that like keeps the person back, because that's what I feel like I've done in high school. I take the chill way. If it keeps continuing, then that's when I'm gonna kick you back.
Yeah, I didn't have the balls for that back then.
I will not even like hurt you physically, but I'm gonna say some stuff.
I didn't even have the balls to do verbally back then. I don't think you understand. I was broken by this.
But what's your idea of verbally? Because my verbally
I didn't
is
even
like,
want to say anything to them.
Oh.
I didn't want to see them. I literally I would see them in a distance down the hallway and try and dip. Yeah. Like I was I was literally terrified because they just made me feel awful.
Because I'm thinking this,
and they always, and another thing my parents would say, they always travel in groups. These people are never strong enough by themselves.
Yeah. That's always
They always have to have their lackeys with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, interesting. Because I'm over here having to walk alone in the
hallways.
hallways.
That's why I love to roll by myself.
That's why when you're in it, if I'm over here by myself, my feeble self, and I see 3 of you walking towards me.
Yeah.
You know?
So I see your point. I don't know. In my head, this is just me talking because we don't know what's going to happen when that time comes for our kid to be in that situation. But I'm telling them what it is. Like, I'm telling you, the kid that's bullying you, they're broken, they're hurt. Yo, look at them, give them a hug, say I'm sorry for what's going on. Be the bigger person in that. Like, that's it.
Maybe. I mean, it depends how they are.
Well, yeah, it's all depending factors. It depends on how they are. Depends on how the bully is.
Yeah.
But that's my tips, because in my case, always either talking to like an adult and having them escalate this and handle it, or you taking like that nice approach has it dead. Like, I've done that once with the kid, and he didn't like me for whatever reason, but he still didn't continue to bother me. Like, I know what it is. I see through that veil.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm with the blocking whole thing. It's tough. It's a tough one, especially this day and age. Because we were saying, I saw a video how kids are not getting their driver's license, like, around like 16, 17, 18, like all that. Like, because now you have Uber. And I was like, wow, you didn't even have Uber. Like, so many things
just like
just right off your phone.
Kids order like Uber Eats and DoorDash and all that, and you bring it to the school. We didn't have that.
Sure. I'd be like, if I could have McDonald's from across the street just come and drop it off, like, sure. That'd be great. But I don't know. This bullying stuff, I don't know what to say. We'll update you guys in like 10 years when we have a kid, or probably 20, when we have a kid and they're going through the whole stuff. Mm-hmm. The next thing I want to touch on here is the Williams. I say the Williams because this is dealing with Jesse Williams and his divorce and Wendy Williams and her divorce. We'll touch on Wendy's because I feel like this one's a lot more like, ugh. So,
they're not related, right?
No, they're not. So Wendy's is so you know how Wendy took like her break off for like a good couple weeks, probably a month or two ago.
Sure.
I
don't keep up with her.
She had like Nick Cannon on, like she had like I forgot the guy that did American Pie. I don't know. She had a lot of people on, and she had to go to rehab and stuff like that.
I see. Yeah, when people were like subbing for her.
She had to go to rehab because I think she went back to like alcohol or something like that, or drugs, something of that nature. Mm-hmm. And then it came out that like she's getting a divorce from her husband. Her husband is her manager, and there's a whole lot of things with this. So it turns out that her husband was with another girl for a pretty long time. I don't know the timeline. I like to say 5 years or more. I'd like to say.
Why are people like this?
And like, so essentially what happened is,
dude, that's a whole other relationship.
Some people are saying that Wendy probably knew about this, but it became like,
something tells me you'd get a hint of it in 5 years.
But it became like real and like something she has to like deal with once it became like real public that this girl like had a kid. Because she, like, this girl that he was with, like, had the baby and it was his baby.
Awful.
And like,
why do people do that?
It's crazy.
You leave the current relationship and go do that one.
Since this guy was her manager and her husband, he did whatever he can to like take her friends and her family and like everyone that would be your support.
Alienate them.
Yeah. So like, here's this guy that has a girl on the side, has a future kid with some other girl, has control of a lot of Wendy's money, because I guess supposedly, this is so horrible, like she had to go through him to like have access to the money. And I was just like,
are we in the 50s?
And Wendy's the one that, you don't know her husband.
Right.
Like Wendy's the one that's making this money. And it's crazy because even like, I guess recently, like before this whole divorce and everything came out into the news, he bought this girl a car. And he's paying with Wendy's money.
Oh my god!
And like after it became public, I guess the car got repoed, of course. But like, damn,
man, he's all types of shady.
Damn, like,
This is like if we had to do the donkey of the day, he's the donkey.
And it
dang.
Man.
Ew.
And I just feel like
what the heck is wrong with you that you put her through all that and then you gotta
I never cared for Wendy because she was all like that gossip stuff, and I'm like, I don't care
but
for
still,
that.
no one
but
deserves
like
that.
exactly, that's why I'm like, damn.
No, that is
like,
so extra.
Go through all that with this person, and it's like
5 years a baby, and I'm using your money to fund her.
Yeah,
like
and
no biggie.
Here's the kicker with this. So this guy, I believe this guy is like he's looking to get like $1 million from the divorce. I don't understand
you
divorcing.
You already used it by I don't understand, funding the other girl.
I don't understand divorces because I really hate that whole like paying your partner type thing unless it's like really like earned. Like when it comes to cheating, I don't know. It's a conversation has to happen.
Yeah,
there.
he don't deserve anything.
Yeah, compared to like a Jeff Bezos and his wife, I'm like he did the wrong thing, of course, but.
Or
Jeff
like
Bezos like had his company.
But also if it's like literally it's different. If you just kind of like if you fall out of love or like you're just not compatible or like something, you know, guy, like versus if you're like that's more mutual. But if you literally just destroy it because you're a terrible person.
Well, he didn't destroy it. He just kept both because he can't fund himself.
But he destroyed the one with her.
He can't fund himself without Wendy's money. So that's the only reason he stayed in it. Because he doesn't have another job other than him being the quote unquote manager of Wendy.
That's just keep it. Were they married before she had all this?
Yeah, they've been married for a long time.
So she don't have a prenup.
Probably not. Ooh. Well, that's why he's asking for $1 million.
Dang. And let's be real, probably $1 million in the scheme of it isn't a lot. I don't know how much she makes, but it's probably at least it's not like half. But still,
that's still. And it's like, I'm not sure what the girl that's with her husband, her soon to be ex-husband, like what she's thinking.
Throw the trash out.
Because it's like, from what it sounds like, this guy he's filth. I would never use that word, but for this person, like
it's accurate.
He just seems like someone that you don't want to be like friends with or like
that. You know what? You know what gets me too? Okay, so Wendy is in the public eye. So this girl had to have known that he's married to her.
Well, duh. They both know.
That's a whole other...
hiding anything.
No, right, but you know how sometimes like married people, they cheat, but they really make it seem like they're not married, and so you can like believe them and all that stuff.
Yeah, but he wasn't lying.
No, but
she knew what it was.
So then the other person isn't like as guilty, but like... She had to have known. So like you're for 5
she knew
years.
What it was.
For 5 years. But where I'm going with this is I'm like she is equally as skeevy.
But you can't do anything about that girl.
But like,
she took away the car that all that stuff, but
cuz like they're made for each other then. Gross.
But it's not all it's not all like sunshine and rainbows with that cuz I'm like you're getting a manipulative person.
Right.
Like what he did to Wendy is what he's doing.
Both suck.
It's just like
you did that for 5 years. You knew he was married. You like that alone.
Yeah. Well, she was probably like
when someone finds out, like say you're like in a relationship with someone for like a year, and then you find out they're married. Like you genuinely didn't know, and then you find out. Then it's your responsibility to do something like that.
5 years,
right? So that's what I'm saying is you started this knowing.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like
that's
she started it knowing probably because she's getting something out of it. She's easily probably getting money. She's probably getting her rent paid. She's probably getting she's getting all this off Wendy's she's getting all this off Wendy's back. So whatever. She's like, why does she care if she's getting all this money? This is so not empowering
for women. We are in 2019. This is like the year of the woman.
So that's the thing with Wendy. I wanted to talk on because I'm like, that's so dirty. And now this thing with Jesse Williams. So this has been going on since 2017. This is Jesse Williams for you.
Yeah. Yes.
She didn't know who she was. Who he was, I should say.
Well, I didn't know the name.
So he's denying, or his wife that you see there is requesting $200,000 for legal fees and for her use of forensic accountant to prepare for the divorce and trial.
Okay.
Wait, is this wrong? Wait, hold up. No, I saw somewhere where she's looking for like $200,000 a month. Is that? I don't know if I trust this article, but I'm gonna go with the assumption that she's looking for. Whoa. So he currently pays $50,000 each for a child and spousal support based off his $521,000 income.
Monthly is what he left out. Monthly. He makes $521,000.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
That's
a lot of money. Oh man. Okay. If they're asking for $200,000, I didn't read that much. If they let's say if she is asking for an increase of $200,000 a month, I'm like, dog, you still got a cool.
Think, yeah, that's a little less than half. A lot of divorces, they try to do about halfway or something like that.
That's tough because I'm gonna.
So $521,000 a month, guys.
That's tricky. That is a tricky one.
Most of us can't even imagine that in a year. Most of us can't imagine that in 5 years.
But my thing is, why does she need that much?
Why does he need that much?
But also, she refuses to get any work, so she hasn't been working, like, for a while now.
How many kids do they have?
I'm not sure if the article says. A part of me probably likes to say,
and how old are they is the question.
Oh my God, she's saying that she had to sacrifice her life for him.
You don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just like, come on.
Because a lot of times in relationships, the person will lose themselves or whatever. So maybe that's what she's alluding to. Or maybe like she didn't do what she wanted to because he was like blowing up with acting or something.
It doesn't say how many kids they have. I'm just going to assume it's maybe like 2 or 3.
Okay, but especially if they're young kids, I mean, sure, if you're getting paid that for support or whatever, why would you go work when you could be a stay-at-home mom? Why are you going to put them in daycare?
Dog, I don't want to hear this.
No, literally though.
Okay,
because
I gotta look up
you have to think about it. If you and I like made a good amount, like say you were able to make so much that I didn't have to work and I could stay home with the kids. That's a better option than daycare for no reason. If I'm already gonna whatever I make is going into daycare.
So we're getting a divorce because things aren't going to work out. Are you going to find a job?
Again, it depends on the whole kid situation.
Okay, so they have 2 kids. So he pays 100.
How old are they?
I mean, old enough to have Wikipedia pages. One's 3. And the other one, the other one is 5.
Yeah, so I mean, they're still kind of young.
God damn, to pay $100,000 a month. How much is that? That's a lot of freaking money a year.
$120,000 a year, babe.
Oh my God.
10 times 12.
Oh my God.
Wait.
What are we doing with that type of money?
How much was it?
It's $50,000 per kid.
Oh,
so
I did
it's $100,000 a month.
So is it 1.2 million? Yeah.
I was gonna get the calculator on this one.
No, because it's add another zero.
But I'm just like,
jeez.
So he gives that, and then he gives her $100,000 a month. Like, he's shelling out $200,000 right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So $200,000 a month would be $2,400,000.
Like he could afford it, but I'm just like, God damn. I want to know why. I want to know what you're spending your money on. Like, are they going to like an amazing school?
But or is that's it just not even necessarily the point.
Yeah, I can't.
How long were they even married? Because that's a factor that plays in too. Because if they're not married that long, she's not going to get this that long.
It was for 5 years, 2012 to 2017.
So, I mean, the child support's one thing, but the spousal, she's not going to get that long. Because it all depends on how long you're married.
Oh, Jesse, there's a way out.
Yeah, but no, they would know that. Like, someone who's married for 2 years in your 20s, I'm not going to get spousal support for my entire life from you. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you're married 40 years, yeah, a lot more rides on that.
See,
but
that's my issue with this. Like, I have a major issue when it comes to, like, getting married and, like, dealing with the whole, like, divorce. And, like, that whole, like...
Nobody wants to.
But I don't feel like it's right. Well, certain situations. I'll say that. Certain situations, yeah. I'll give you a little sign. Cool. That's agreed on. And that's cool. That is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Certain ones are just like, Like if we have, for example, if we get divorced because it's like it's not working, no one cheated on anyone,
Right.
it's just not working. Why do I have to pay you? Just let's split whatever we have.
Also, it's not necessarily you, as in always the man. It is the person who makes more.
Which I get, because
So that isn't always the man, sir. It's 2019.
It's not, but
So
because I'm trying to think. Like I don't think
Snip,
It doesn't say. Did they go through any like thing as to why they're like having a divorce?
there's probably an article somewhere online.
Probably. I'm not sure that this article I'm looking at does not say.
I mean, this one's focusing on the money.
But that's why like it's I don't know, it's touchy for me. Like that like I don't have a lot of money.
Okay, but he does. It's sick. Literally, who needs to make $500,000 a month?
Me? I do. Shoot.
But eventually, like, you're just going to
Give me all the
be in a
Teslas in
sick
the
amount
world.
of wealth. Like,
What's the problem with that? I'm living in Cali. You know how much it costs for a nice house?
but that's where I hope people do good with it eventually. When you have a sick amount of wealth.
yeah,
like,
I'm going to live my best life.
spread the wealth.
I'm going to spread it all over me in this hot tub.
Oh my god.
Shoot, I always wanted to bathe in a lot of money. This is my chance. Give me 500.
Ew.
Give me
You
500.
know how dirty that is?
And that's why I'm bathing in. I'm trying to clean myself off.
Oh, the money is dirty, nasty.
I'm trying to clean myself off.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm so on the fence with that one. Wendy, of course, this guy shouldn't be getting $1 million. Maybe give him 20,000. Like here you go, get out of here.
Yeah, no, I
With
hate
your
him.
cheating butt.
No.
Um,
I very strongly dislike him.
So the next thing I wanted to touch on here was, or that you wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
is Taylor Swift and Beyonce.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I saw this.
Okay. All right.
Take it away.
All right, guys. So people online are getting all types of mad because they're saying Taylor Swift stole Beyonce's Coachella performance for the Billboard Awards last week. Now, all right. First of all, I have to find real quick. There was like a tweet that I specifically wanted to reference. So bear with me. Okay. Okay. So it says Magachella, Beyonce tether, Taylor Swift used the unseasoning stone and a marching bland to gentrify Baychella and got banished to the alabaster abyss. First of all, dang, whoever came up with all that. Beyonce tether, I love that. Unseasoning stone.
A whole lot of mayonnaise up on that stage.
Okay, can you stop? Sir. Okay, anyway, so then I went and watched the performance. Okay. First of all, and people were referencing like in replies to the tweet and stuff, because someone had put, they're like, okay, but Gwen Stefani did this in 2005. And then they put Destiny's Child in 1999. Carry on. Like they keep trying to say like how, I don't know, Beyonce and her hooligans like originated this whole marching band kind of look. I'm like, okay, listen guys, you listen to songs, you see song names, you watch movies and TV shows and all that. Please tell me you never see like things that are basically the same all the time. Same themes, same beats, same like song names, like anything. Like then, okay, she had like the little like the drummers and stuff. She didn't do it like what Beyonce did, because you have not seen her music video probably.
I am not watching that.
Basically what this was like a live performance of the music video. Is like, it still had the pastels, it still had the girls with the suitcases, it had like the dancers, the same like stuff, umbrellas, like all that stuff. It kind of, to me, it just looked like a live version of the music video, which in my opinion is kind of cool, because you don't really see that a lot, like where they literally just take a music video and make it a live performance. So that's kind of what it was. And then here's my thing too. People want to pit these people against each other all the time. Or they're just comparing anybody to Beyonce. Like, Beyonce is God. She's not, okay? Like, believe it or not, Beyonce is a person just like you and me, okay? She just so happens to sing well, perform well, have a boatload of money, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, like, her and Taylor Swift, they're in their own lanes. Like, they're not even on the same playing field to compete with. And I don't mean that by level like, oh, Queen Bee, she's up here and Taylor's down here. I more so mean they're like over here and over here. Like, they're just on different fields. So why does everybody have to be compared to Beyonce? And why is Beyonce like the pinnacle for everything? Sure, she's good. There's no denying that. But I never understood why Beyonce has to be like the number one person on the planet. So that's my rant. Go ahead.
There's a lot of hate in your voice.
Because I'm annoyed by it. And it's not just because of the Taylor Swift thing. Whenever I see people comparing people to Beyonce or saying how she's like the best thing since sliced bread, I'm like, why?
You know why?
Why?
It's a race thing. You guys want to go heavy for your artist? We're going to go heavy for ours.
But why
Not
just
saying
her?
me,
There's a lot of people.
Beyonce.
There's a lot of people who are black that can perform and sing and rap and whatever.
Yes, but Beyonce has the greatest record, like, of anything. Performer, freaking singer. Like, her record is clean. Like, she hasn't.
Which
hasn't
one?
been. What are you talking about?
What do you mean record?
Like driving record. Like a record. Like your rap sheet. It's clean. Like,
okay.
You can't say that, like, anything that Beyonce has done, she's killed it. So yeah, people go hard for her.
Great.
Yo, I hope the Bayhive comes for you.
But I don't get it. I don't get. There's other artists who are amazing as well, who can hit high notes or who can perform their ass off or whatever.
Who? Just like you guys go hard for Demi and Taylor Swift.
There's like Demi and Ariana, like they have all the high notes.
They're
and all
not
the
black.
Whatever. Okay, but why? So hold on. Hold on. Why? See, here's what I don't get. Why are you playing the race card when...
We're not playing a race card. We're supporting.
I understand support. That's great. Again, not saying she's not a bad... Like, that she's a bad performer or anything. I'm saying this pinnacle that... Like, this pedestal that we hold her on.
Why not?
Like, why?
Because her rap sheet is squeaky clean.
Because she has amazing PR people and amazing people who can make sure everything's squeaky clean because she can afford it.
It's not my fault that Taylor Swift goes in and out of relationships all the time.
It's not my fault that Beyonce stayed with her cheating ass husband.
Well, great. We all have to stay with her cheating ass husbands to show that, we about this life.
Really? Okay, yeah. So you cannot even come for Taylor for going in and out of relationships because, hey, she was... How old is she? Like 28 or 29 or something like that? Tell me that's not normal of 20-somethings to find yourself and be like, no, this person kind of stinks or whatever. Sure, you and me are different, like, whatever. But a lot of people go in and out of more relationships before finding and settling down.
All I hear is mayonnaise and sad music.
Oh, my God. So, like, we're putting down Taylor for going in and out of relationships to try and find a healthy one, but we're not putting down her for staying with a cheater.
Don't say that you don't know that the relationship's not healthy. Just because someone makes a mistake.
Oh, just because someone makes a mistake.
Exactly.
Right. Well, then why would Taylor want to stay in an unhealthy relationship?
I'm not telling her to.
Clearly, they ended for
Clearly,
reasons.
she does not know how to vet people before she gets into that relationship.
What?
I don't know.
You got to go in the relationship to see what they're like.
I mean, I can gauge people right off the jump.
Not completely.
Not completely, yes. But for the most part, you can be like, I don't like how you treat that person right there. So you may treat them like
okay,
they
treat. All right.
Point
Again,
is,
you're like cult-like for... That's the thing. Is like, why is it a cult for Beyonce?
Okay, let me get my talking, because you be just...
I'm fired up.
Run in the mouth.
Excuse me?
You run in the mouth.
Excuse me?
Run in the mouth. Run in the goddamn mouth. So here's my thing.
We're not going to be on the next podcast because somebody's not going to be able to talk.
Oh, man. So I'm not heavy on to Beyonce. I really don't care about this thing. When I saw the video, it was stupid. I'm like, why? There's nothing to this. Like, this has been. If we want to talk about something, we'll talk about Bring It On being the freaking thing that started this whole marching stuff. Like, I don't know. Like.
Oh no, but that's a movie. We can pass on that.
It's all stupid stuff when I saw it. But the reason I feel like people go hard for Beyonce is because there's not another artist that is black that has the talent that she has that people can go behind. So yeah, people are going to go hard for Beyonce. Like there's no other like black female that you could say is like this incredible, or like any black female that you could say is like, I don't even know, like close to the level that Beyonce's on.
Okay, so I can respect that, but here's my question. That's great. If she is holding like this spot for being like the most amazing black female, now why are we bringing race into it by bringing white girls in and being like, oh, they're awful?
So here goes the next part. The people that are hardcore fans for Beyonce, they went too extreme on this. Because as I'm looking at her thing, stop. It's not the movie. Fuck out of here. They went too hard on it because it's like, it's something so minor. It's like, I think it's the intro of when she gets out of the performance. Is this like whole drum thing?
Yeah, it's basically they're so comparing it to the Coachella,
and like they're saying like the whole frills thing. It's only like if Beyonce didn't just drop her a Netflix thing, people would have forgot about it. Like
yeah, that's true too. It was really, like last year.
That's what I thought when I saw the video. I'm like, yeah, if we didn't see the whole Beyonce thing, we wouldn't have known. Because a lot of us, I feel like, if you're not a Beyonce fan, you probably didn't watch. No, did they live stream it? I don't think they live streamed it. Yeah, so unless you were at Coachella, you didn't get to see this. Because I remember hearing about the whole Beyonce stuff.
Same.
But we didn't get to see it. So we wouldn't know, like, this wouldn't be a thing. It just happened to come around the same time. If Taylor Swift would have dropped this later on in the year, I don't think this would be as big of a thing. Like, Beyonce just dropped on Netflix a few weeks ago. Like, it's hot right now.
That's the thing, too, is you have to realize the production time and all that. This was probably already in the works for the Billboard Awards when Beyonce dropped the stuff on Netflix. So it's not like this direct like attack because again, hers was last year. So I'm sure it wasn't some big conspiracy of like, oh, I'm going to copy her performance from a year ago.
It's just a reach. And
like, but that's exactly what I'm saying is, and I don't deny people do this for any artist. If you like ride or die for an artist, it's kind of the same like with YouTubers, like the beauty YouTubers. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Like people ride or die for these people so much that if you even breathe the wrong way about them,
it's a wrap.
Oh my gosh. All shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing is, I'm not that way about like any one person. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, oh, my life depends on the fact that I have to defend this person who's never going to hear of me. Like, people get so, like they have to be the security guards for these people. These people don't know you and don't care about you like that. Like, sure, they care that you like it, that you pay their paycheck and listen to them and support them and whatever. They can care, but, like, individually...
Yeah,
you're just another number of a fan. Like, dang.
Like, I was one of those people going hard, like, when I was a teenager, like, in 50, and, like, the other people I listened to. But then I realized, I'm like, why am I going so hard for someone that I'm never going to, like, meet or, like, have a conversation with?
It's ridiculous. Just like, so that's the thing, is I more so, it's just annoying, again, that they put her on a pedestal and that these people rally around. And like I said, it's any artist. If you like... are gonna like have a truck run over you to defend an artist or an actor or something, that's so extreme.
I mean, I'm gonna say they could put Beyonce on a pedestal, whatever. I don't care.
I think everyone is in their own lane, and I think there's a lot of amazing talent out there.
It's only a fan thing because you can go back and look at, you can Google pictures throughout the years whenever Beyonce and Taylor were like at like these events, like they've hugged and talked, and like it's there's no issue there. It's just all people making their own thing.
Well, yeah, of course it is, and that's the thing too. It's not for nothing. You talk about like Beyonce has like the squeaky clean record and stuff. The thing with Taylor is I feel like people come for her for literally no reason too, though. She's kind of had this reputation where she can't do anything right. Like people just like. They hate on her just to hate.
Yeah, because she's the blonde white girl, and
but I'm
she's like,
again, she has just like Beyonce hasn't, come back from the dead like Jesus. Taylor also hasn't, done anything as bad as Satan. Like I feel like we're trying to make these people look a certain way. I'm like, again, they're just people who are talented, and we enjoy listening to. That's it. I don't know why we have to like dig a grave for one and like send one to heaven and just, it's a whole thing.
I don't know. I was like, when you want to talk about something like dog, and I saw the video, I'm like, this is not an issue. What the heck?
See, it was stupid. It was just a performance. And it solely, like, it really was based on the music video and the theme and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Dog.
That's my 2 cents, guys. Just appreciate your artists, listen to your artists, support them, whatever, but don't go crazy.
We're going to get into something a bit more entertaining now.
Okay.
Our last topic, as always, some beautiful relationship advice. Now, this one is... Oh, I got some words for this after reading it.
Bro.
All right, let's get into it, guys. So, my wife confessed that she wanted to leave me for another man, but she changed her decision because she fell in love with me again when I took care of her when she had cancer. He goes on to say, "Hey guys, I've been wanting to write this for a couple of days, but I kept postponing because I didn't have the strength to type this, but I finally have enough courage to talk about it now. My wife and I have been married for 10 years, and we have 2 daughters. A couple years ago, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was a really difficult time for us, but we got through it. I did everything to support her and take care of her. I was really happy for her when she finally recovered.
Right.
But last week, when my wife and I were watching a movie and cuddling, she started crying and told me that I was the best thing that happened to her.
Uh-oh.
But I was in for a shock. She told me
Oh no.
She told me that she told me that she fell in love with one of her colleagues before her diagnosis. They didn't have sex, but they decided to tell their families and ask for a divorce. But after her diagnosis, he ghosted her. She tried reaching out to him, but he just blocked her. That is when she realized my value in her life. She quit her previous job. I was totally unprepared for this kind of revelation. She swears that they never had any sexual intimacy. They wanted to end things with their spouses before committing. She also tells me that I'm the most important person in her life and she'd do anything to make it up to me. I'm really conflicted. Like any marriage, our marriage had its share of troubles, leaving her.
Leaving her was never my solution.
Yeah, I don't know why. He had like some spelling error, never there. But leaving her was never my solution. On the other hand, she tells me that our bond is stronger now. I don't know what to do. I'm looking for any feasible advice. I don't know if she has my respect now, but I'm unable to function properly as a normal person now. I need help, but I don't want to talk about this to friends or family. Thanks for listening to me."
Okay, that's straight up a therapy thing, though. Like, literally, you need to see someone that can actually help you with this because Reddit is not going to be the place for it, is my 2 cents. But, damn. It's kind of funny because the fact that the guy ghosted her when she had cancer kind of goes to show that that was not a deep enough relationship like what she currently had. So she was ready to leave this person and life kind of intervened in a way. It's kind of weird. Like life was just like, no, like I'm going to show you what you actually need. And that's crazy to me. So I think, I mean, she's right in the fact that I'm sure that it made the relationship stronger, you know, him helping her through that, being a support system, all that stuff. But yeah, I understand why he's so conflicted and so confused. I don't know. Again, I think he needs to talk to someone because that's heavy.
So here's my take with this. You may have not had any sex with this guy. Cool. That's great. Doesn't matter.
Emotional cheating.
Doesn't matter. You still cheated. You were if you didn't, like, there has to be, it's like, yeah, I treat this as cheating because you were literally, if you didn't get diagnosed that you had breast cancer, you would have left.
Yeah.
Yep. I may not divorce you, but I'm gonna have some heavy trust issues over the next, few years.
Right.
Because now I'm always thinking, like, if you're on your phone talking a certain way, or if you're like texting someone a certain like I'm just thinking like, okay, because you did that then, you probably could do this now. Like, you're saying this now and that I'm the best thing that happened to you, but how real is that? If you like fell out of love with me and it's just like we couldn't communicate.
Okay, here's my thing. The falling out of love with someone, I believe that can happen.
Okay.
But I also believe that you can repair that by recognizing, like, when people fall out of love, I don't think it's necessarily that, oh, we're just not meant to be.
No.
People fall out of love because those little gestures don't happen anymore. The comments, the like, wow, you look nice today, the intimacy physically, like everything, all these little parts that create a safe feeling, comfortable, happy relationship. If you don't do these things, especially I know like they say when kids come in the picture and they have them, that like that stuff gets even more rare. You can fall out of love with someone. And I think the trick there is you have to always make sure that's not happening. I'm not defending her in any way.
Nope.
I'm not
getting it. Nope.
No, listen. I think it's on the responsibility of both of you to make sure that you're both getting what the other needs, because you're in this relationship for and with each other. So why, like, if you're not providing what this person needs, of course they're kind of now lacking and questioning, and like, sure, someone else comes in. Again, I don't believe cheating's right. I don't defend it in any way. However, I do see that people don't just cheat. There's never really like a reason. Like, people don't just be like, I just feel like doing this today. Like, there's usually like an underlying cause.
Yes, there is a cause. She fell out of love with this person.
Why though?
That's great.
You have to understand.
But you communicate with this person.
Maybe he wasn't listening.
Oh my! I'm not going with these maybes. I'm going with what's right there. I'm going with what's right there because it's like, I don't feel like there's a maybe. Like, yo.
Maybe he wasn't listening and taking it serious.
You're always going to go with these maybes. So maybe, what if she didn't? What about that take? Because what if she wasn't communicating it and this is how she felt internally? And then like, yo, this is someone that you work with. So you see this person every day. You see them way more than you are at home. So yeah, you feel more comfortable with this person because you see them a lot more. You'll be on like, yo, let's go out to have lunch together or whatever. And then like, yo, I'm sitting here telling you about my days and stuff. Like, shoot. And it's like, I don't know. That would really mess me up. Because I'm trying to think, like, damn, like, I'm sitting here helping you through, like, breast cancer, a super traumatic thing. And, like, before that, like, you were going to peace out on me.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of trust issues there, and that's going to take a long time to rebuild.
I feel like there needs to be individual therapy and couples therapy in this.
Well, yeah.
Because, like, I don't trust you. I just, like, there's going to be a whole lot of, like, being a robot in that relationship for a certain period.
That's the thing, too, is it's interesting because, yeah, like, he's gonna, I don't know, like, he's gonna have to still be a good partner while she also rebuilds the trust. It's like complicated because he probably doesn't want to be a good partner right now.
Well, I'm not saying like, if I was in this position, I'm not going to treat her poorly, but I'm going to probably be less likely to, want to hold your hand or to cuddle with you or to, like, because now I just feel
that made you fall out of love,
and because I just feel like disgusted by this person, I should say.
Right.
And it's like, you can't fault the guy.
Well, no.
It's just like, damn. And it's, of course, it's something that has to, like, be built on, and maybe that's where you go on, like, a bit more dates. It goes back to that communicating. Like, yeah, if they aren't communicating both.
She's going to have to basically, like, if he needs to get that trust back. So, and he needs to kind of dictate what it takes to get that trust back. So, if that's, like, oh, like, who are you talking to? Like, that kind of thing for her to, like, reassure him, like, oh, it's my mom or whatever, or like, and it's that fine line, because you also can't completely invade the person's privacy either, because like it's a very fine line to walk when you're trying to rebuild trust with someone in this area. Because it's not like you can be like, well, I'm going to track your phone and I'm going to do that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
You have to rebuild trust, not be like helicopter. So I think, again, that's where they need to talk to someone, because I can't dictate exactly what that means for them. But she's going to have to kind of
it's going to be therapy and
prove to him that she's not going to do that again. Prove to him that now that I'm not going through cancer, now that we're normal again, that I still look at you like the best thing that happened to me, that I still want you in our normal day-to-day life.
Like, if you value me like you say you value me, because I didn't leave you during a super pivotal, like, important moment you were going through, versus this other person that you wanted to leave before that. Doesn't seem like they were willing to take care of you at all. Like, how does it even happen? Like, do you still work together? Like, or did you have to like stop going to work because you had breast cancer?
Probably.
Like,
you know what? A lot of people do.
Like, wow. There's gonna be a lot of therapy. It's gonna be a slow rebuild with this. Like, I get what you're saying, where it's like maybe the guy was trying to do this before. Like, that's cool. Maybe we can go with that. But it's hard to gauge.
I'm a firm believer that you have to continue doing the little things all throughout your relationship, because those are the things that add up. And if you're not doing those, it's easy to like either fall out of love or just kind of be less happy or whatever. I think both parties should continuously do those things, because you have to show people and tell people and reaffirm and reassure and all that, that we're still good no matter what happens, or that I still love you, and like that kind of stuff.
If that's what you say, I just say they should communicate. But
you don't. So do you not believe that that's important in a relationship?
Well, I feel like you're going based on your things and not going based on a general, because you don't know the specific
things. I think it is general.
Things.
I didn't say exactly what, because I think people's sayings or touches or whatever, those can be different. Like people, gift giving, whatever your thing is. But like, I think whatever that is, those little things should be continued.
Whatever
a happy
is needed,
relationship.
Whatever they need to communicate it. And if something's lacking,
and the other person needs to be open to doing it. They both is the thing.
Need to be open to doing whatever is needed for each other.
Right.
That's it. Like,
I'm sensing a little hostility.
Yeah, because I'm like, don't push your values on these couples. They don't want that. Shoot. Like, whatever is needed, it just goes to communicating and working something out. That at the end of the day, it's just communicating, working it out, and it takes time. With this whole thing, it's gonna take time, and it's you got each other. You got to work through it. With that being said, it's time to wrap this bad boy up.
Okay.
So, if you guys made it all the way through this podcast, I would love for you to rate and review on iTunes if you are listening. Follow us on all social medias for updates, all that fun stuff. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. Everywhere. All links are everywhere. Well, if not links, everything's in the description. I'm Shadell, as I said, one half of Paging the Simpsons, joined by my lovely fiance,
Lauren, the better half.
And I'll see you guys Friday.
Bye.
Peace.